go again.
Yeah, bitch! Magnet! Oh!
地球の心と物質
All right.
So here we are.
We are here. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday morning.
You know,
As the shows come out on Sunday mornings, that's how I say that. Unless it's Friday or Saturday or Wednesday.
unless it's this Sunday, February 18th.
February
and the
18th.
episode isn't out. Oh, man.
This shit will always be out, bro. This shit will always be out no matter what.
Except for today on February 18th.
Yeah, that might fuck
But don't
up
worry,
that.
it'll be out Monday.
Hell
the
yeah,
next
bro.
day. The 19th.
Nah, never that. We're going to stay on schedule. No more hiatuses, no more fuck ups, no more anything. Consistency is key. That's what Michael Jordan said.
That's all we're fucking doing on this show, man.
Hell yeah,
It's
man.
like, you know, I really enjoy the conversations we've been having about the show off air, where it's just like we're just really bouncing off of each other, and it's like every time I hit you up, I'm like, yo, I got an idea. I'm like, and you're like,
I don't even know where that sound is from.
bruh,
What the fuck is that?
you've played Among Us, bitch.
Among Us?
Yeah.
Oh, I only played it like 5 or 6 times.
That's enough.
that's-
That's enough, ho. That's enough. All right.
Yeah.
But
What's
you
that
know,
noise when somebody's suspicious?
That's the discussion sound effect where it's like after someone reports a body or hits the button, and it's like everyone gets to talk to each other. That's the sound effect that plays.
That game is mad funny, bro. That game is like, yo, bro, fuck everybody else. Like, you the motherfucker that did wrong.
Yo, what a social deception game of just like pure like chaos and horror. Just you know, there's a board game like that similar to Among Us called Secret Hitler.
Secret Hitler?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Where it's just like someone is secretly Hitler, and it's just you have to kind of snoop them out, and like it's a really funny board game.
Do you wear the mustache and hide the mustache?
I mean, you could wear a mustache if you wanted to. Like you could always do a, what do they call it, a brown nose or something like that.
A brown nose? That's when you get shit on your face, right?
Yeah.
Hot. Yo, so honestly, speaking of Hitler, I'm just gonna bring it up because I feel like it might take a while for you to watch it in the theaters. But Zone of Interest, right? You haven't heard of it at all or anything, right? So Zone of Interest is a new movie that came out. That's a Polish film, right? And it's supposed to basically tell the story of first of all, very heavy spoilers. I know it's the beginning of the episode, but I mean, it's supposed to be this grand, amazing movie. People call it movie of the year. Also, Israel and Palestine's happening, so there's a lot of my suspicions being like, is it only being deemed that because it's giving the story side of the Jews? You know what I mean? As always, when it comes to like Holocaust movies, and it's basically one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen, like visually. But I'm very interested. So that's why I won't spoil it actually fully, so you can go watch it and go experience it. Because
don't fucking spoil it.
I don't want to spoil a movie, but I didn't like that shit at all. I'll just say that. I'll give you that pretense. You know, people were.
You also don't like Tears of the Kingdom, so
Zelda. Yeah, that shit is kind of trash, low key. No, but I was looking up reviews, and the reason I went to go watch this because all the reviews were like, "Wow, one of the best films in the world, incredible. This is a masterpiece," and all that stuff. And so I took Beatrice. I'm like, "Yo, let's go. I got a great movie. Like, I just saw Poor Things. I just saw The Boy and the Hero. I just saw a bunch of good movies. You know what I mean? Poor Things being the best." And then I was like, "This shit about to go crazy, right?" And I go leave that shit. I'm like, "Damn, was that shit not ass cheeks or you know?" And then all the reviews on it are basically saying like, wow, this is such a subtle masterpiece, really in a class of its own, and honestly to be cherished down the line. And it does so much with so little. And at the end, it's like, but it does move very slow, so it is kind of boring. So I'll just leave you with that, you know, just because you talked about Secret Hitler and stuff like that. But I won't spoil much more. But you remind me with the Mein Kampf talk, you know what I mean? So, which you know, I wanted to read that book when I was younger.
I actually think you told me that as like one of our first ever conversations.
I don't think there's anything wrong reading that book. I don't think you should read it on the train. But
I just think I think the reason why I remember that is because that's very notable. Of just like one of the first conversations we have. You're like, yeah, you know, I've always wanted to read Mein Kampf like when I was a kid, and I was just funny. Like, okay. This is who this guy is. Let's see why. But I don't think I haven't read it myself personally, but I've read a lot of Karl Marx.
Karl Marx, that's the communist?
Yeah.
Shout out to communists.
Yeah. So,
well, what is his point? What is his whole point of view?
He just is a huge person that is
fat.
He's big. He's round.
He's Karl Marx.
He's Karl Marx.
Now, what's his whole point on communism?
But his whole point of communism is that it's just an attack on democracy and capitalism is what most people like to look at it as. Is just he just constantly talks about how capitalism is what is gonna destroy the world essentially, and just kind of says like, yo, man, we gotta like share the wealth, like everyone gets a bit, this and that, whatever, and like everyone's just like, yo, what? But
why is that kind of much?
I made this money. Why should I give it to you?
Do you agree with him or do you not agree with him?
I go back and forth with it.
Like tax the rich, but don't take away from the poor, or what?
Yeah, because like I go back and forth with it as like throughout different stages of life and stuff, where it's just my mindset changes, and it's just where I stand now, at least I'm just kind of like it definitely is a very difficult situation to say nonetheless. But I also just think it, for me personally, I definitely wish there was less inequality of wealth, and not just in the country but in the world, because there is a huge gap between the 1% and just everyone else at this point in time. So it would be nice to see if that wasn't such the case, but I don't know if I fully believe in like a sort of like communist like manifesto type of thing.
I'm the same way, only because I kind of am in agreement with that whole like I earned this stuff, and you have the option to donate to charity or contribute as much as you want. But then you have a lot of people saying like, well, this person has billions of dollars, like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. Like, why can't we just take his money? And it's just like, well, then you get to the whole conversation of they don't pay taxes as much and this and that. But it's also in the sense of the most simplest form, we can't have some of his stuff. And the guy's like, I don't want you to have some of my stuff. And the people are like, but we need it. And he's like, I get that. And he's like, all right, how much you guys want? And they're like all of it. and he's like, why?
What are you doing, step bro?
I'm trapped in the no, but and then the people are like, yeah, we want all of it because you don't need all that to live, great in a great life. And it's just kind of like a back and forth where nobody's really in the correct and both kind of sound like childish, So I'm like, be selfish, bro. Nah, I'm kidding. I don't know. I think if you make the money yourself, that's what America is really about, But honestly speaking, with the topics we'll discuss in the next episode with the whole AMC section and everything, what's it called? I think I just got a big ass history lesson, and I was like, God damn, America is really some fucked up shit, which we all know already.
Yeah,
I think it just pretends to be a little more,
polished.
Glamorous. Yeah, glamour. Why you interrupt me, bro? No, I'm kidding. Glamorous is a word. Glamorous.
I said polish,
but is glamorous a word?
No, I think it's glamorized.
Glamorized?
I think.
Why you lying, bro?
I don't know.
Am
I lying?
I don't know, man.
Am I lying, man?
I don't know.
Hey, come on, man. Look at me, man. You think I'm lying?
You look like you smoking.
Does this look like the face of someone that lies?
I think so. But it's more glamorized. Yeah, that's the actual word. I don't know, but I learned a whole bunch of shit recently. But fuck it, we're here. We're back in the show.
What do we do on this show?
We're talking about what's going on in the earth,
in our minds,
and why it matters. This is
Earth, Mind, and Matter.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Frankie.
I'm Javi.
This is February 18th. 2024. We made it. We're fucking getting back on track as per usual.
I might just say that every episode. We did
make it. We did actually make it. Bro.
We fucking did it.
This is the 5th episode of the season 2. All right, we're finally getting back on track. Setting up is much more faster now. I do like that we shoot earlier. I think we said that before, but it's much nicer, man. It's fucking calm, chill. It's so funny that we're sitting here just recording our voices, having a conversation. This is the future. This is 2024. You know?
And well, like you said that we should do for 2 episodes ago, which I will definitely do still, is just a disclaimer for anyone who's already listened to the episode, but there was some little audio issues a couple episodes ago, but I hope you guys couldn't notice too much about it, but we'll see what you guys say.
We'll cross that road when we get there.
That's something for future Frankie and Javi to deal with.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Right now, present Frankie and Javi, we just got to talk bullshit.
We got basically, that's what we do. It's crazy, man. We have so much technology around us. And even in the beginning, I want to say we had less technology, but we did pretty much have the same amount. It was just messier looking.
I mean, not even. Because before we had a much smaller interface. We didn't even have the headphone splitter. I didn't have my iPad. I didn't have the wireless keyboard and mouse.
Actually, what do you recommend to people who want to start a podcast? Like, what should they get?
I mean,
motherfuckers that want to start a podcast.
I mean, honestly, to just start off, you just need the basics, like just
microphones,
get some microphones, some stands,
wiring,
an interface, some cables, and you're good to go.
Yeah,
like
pretty much. And pretty much, I think they even sell kits on Amazon, which I wouldn't really trust. I would get that individually, but the kits seem fine, right? Because they pretty much have everything you need.
yeah, they're I think like Shure, which is the same brand of these microphones, has like
SHIRE.
podcasts. SHURE.
Oh, oops, not a sponsor.
But I think they have like podcast bundles of like microphone and like arm mounts.
And you don't
shit
even
like
need a
that.
camera, to be honest with you. You could just have a good ass logo. Shout out Melissa who made our logo. Appreciate you.
Boom.
Hell yeah, bro. And yeah. That's just a little advice. I wonder, because I know there's a lot of people who always say like, "Oh, I should start a podcast." Everybody says they should do everything, and then they never do it. Which I'm not shitting on them, but I mean, I've been like that. I think you've been like that probably with some things,
It's just
you know?
I think
don't be shy about that shit, bro.
I think the difference with like podcasting right now is that everyone wants to do it. Where I think podcasting right now is similar to how younger kids are now growing up to wanting to be YouTube creators and stuff like that.
I think before people wanted to be YouTube creators,
They
much
definitely-
more they wanted to be podcasters now. Or you think it's equivalent?
Well, what I think is happening is that I think there's like an equal balance between the two now, where it's like there are an equal amount of people who want to be podcasters versus people who want to be YouTube creators.
Okay.
In that I think there's a certain age range for each like little group or whatever. I think the YouTube creators are much younger people that are watching people who first started off on YouTube and stuff like that and being inspired by that and wanting to say, hey, I want to do this. Because podcasting is more new, I think there's people a lot more around our age, but there are people younger than us doing podcasts too. But I think with podcasting, it's a little more open to an older audience in terms of making it.
I think the interesting thing is that you can post whatever you want, and a lot of YouTubers before it was much more a character you're playing. Like I think it was a transition from like how late night shows, it was like Jimmy Fallon,
Yeah.
he's still pretty, he's huge as fuck. But he still kind of plays a character, but people love him apparently, like celebrities and stuff. And then YouTubers, there's a lot of crazy motherfuckers that are like, "Hey guys, how are you doing? Welcome back." I'm and then a lot.
Welcome back. I'm Jacksepticeye.
Yeah, exactly. And then like a lot of scandals came out, like PewDiePie said the N-word and stuff like that. And you know about that lady who, what's her name? She always wear red lipstick, and she put on a character voice, and she talking like this. Like I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, but she was a pretty major YouTuber, right? And apparently, like she would have live shows, and she got divorced. And one of her live shows, she had a very young audience, and she but she asked a young girl to come on stage, and her name is like Miranda something, and
Miranda?
Maybe, but she got the young girl on stage who was wearing like I think tights, and she made her like not open her legs in the obvious sense, but she made her do that in front of a crowd. And it was kind of like, what the fuck are you doing with this little girl and stuff like that? And so that story, I got the facts, all mixed up, but that's pretty much the gist. But then you kind of got this, damn, I want to play a character, but then like now the scandal's coming out, and I can't handle this, rise of attention towards myself. And now I think it's a more neutral sense where you can just kind of do whatever you want and be whoever you want. People are still gonna be people and like attack who you are as a person or criticize and blah 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 blah. But I think you can choose to have that ridiculous account where you're like, today we're going to eat bubblegum in the park and drink Mountain Dew. Let's see who reacts. And then you can just be like, hey, what do you listen to, bro? And then you kind of meet in the middle where you it's like kind of satire where you make fun of that shit, know? And I think we're just here in our little corner talking about fucking nothing.
I mean, I think what's cool about what we do, at least, to just, kind of jerk ourselves off a little bit, is just... But I think what's cool about what we do comparatively is just that, especially now with this new format, I think we've really found a good space. And, just like how you were talking about looking at the older footage of our older episodes.
Yeah. We were just looking at it.
Yeah, like our flow and our chemistry has gotten a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, I think, for anyone that wants to start a podcast, it might sound difficult at first. And even if you think, oh, like... we're not funny, we're not fun, whatever.
What do we even talk about?
What do we even talk about? Just don't think about the microphones in front of you.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Like obviously it's in front of you, but I think right now we're able to just talk and just be like, I think we would have this conversation anyway. I think we're more compelled to have it on the podcast because I think sometimes we'll have conversations about bullshit when we're hanging out or whatever. And it's just the only difference is the technology in between us.
Right.
But it's good banter. Ha, sha, la, 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 la.
I'm gonna put the fucking SpongeBob grill meme.
But anyway, I do got some stories.
I gotta just throw that out there real quick.
What's oh, yeah.
So
back in the day,
yeah. For people who don't know, Frankie and I met working at the Bucks at Starbucks.
Hell
and,
yeah.
On Sunday mornings, we always used to open up together. And the first Sunday that Frankie stopped opening,
yeah, I went to go work at some other dog cafe in Brooklyn. And yeah,
the first fucking Sunday, and like it was just I was opening without him, and I was like, damn, this is weird. Like I just fucking sent you that gif of the SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs thing of the two of them floating. The like, this grill is not a grill.
And if you don't know that reference, that sucks for you, man. Go watch that episode. Fucking shout out SpongeBob, bro. Everybody loves that motherfucker. I feel like SpongeBob loving is a cult now, almost. You know, like you know, I love that shit. I'm sure a lot of people do, but now people are getting tattoos. I've seen a Magic Conch tattoo. I've seen Gary tattoos, bro. I've seen everything. I see somebody create the Magic Conch.
That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, I'm gonna get this guy tattooed.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
And I'm sure there's a tattoo of that shit and everything. Yo, shout out, man. And rest in peace to, I think the creator passed away, right?
Steven Spielberg.
Steven
Spielberg. Yeah, I think his name is Steven something though, isn't it?
Yeah, Steven Hilsberg, I think so.
Steven Hilsberg,
something like that. But I think he passed away. Rest in peace to that motherfucker,
Damn.
bro. That was a real one.
You know, I remember. Last thing I'll say, I remember one time.
Finally, I'm kidding.
I said, I fucking told Lucas one day randomly. I was just like, "Yo, man, it's gonna be a sad day when Tom Kenny passes away," and he was like, "Are you even thinking about that?"
Who's Tom Kenny again?
The voice of SpongeBob.
Oh, I always confuse him with what's it called? The creator of SpongeBob.
Right.
Yeah. Hell yeah, bro. He actually voiced a couple other people. Didn't he do Flapjack as well?
I don't know about that one. I know he does a lot of voices though. He did Rocco.
Rocco's Modern Life. That's one of my favorite cartoons in my whole fucking life. Who did he do?
He did Rocco.
He did Rocco?
Yeah, he
Get
did Rocco.
the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a good show, man.
He also did Squanchy and Rick and Morty.
That makes sense. Squanchy.
He's done like a couple of other side characters in Rick and Morty and whatnot, but yeah, he loves voice acting.
That's fucking awesome. But shout out to I forget her name, but we'll put her name here.
Nancy Cartwright,
who voiced Bart and Lisa and Maggie and everybody on The Simpsons and stuff like that. Man, I fucking love watching so much animation when I was younger, and The Simpsons was always great. Futurama being one of my favorites, fucking Rocko's Modern Life being one of my favorites, SpongeBob. What else is there? I mean, there's a lot, to be fair, but all the cartoons were dope as shit, man, and they really don't make them like they used to before. I know people say that all the time and stuff, but they really don't. And I fucking miss it, man. I wanted to be a cartoonist when I was younger too. Oh, yeah? That's one of the biggest things I wanted to do. And yeah, I was actually thinking about that today. But I miss that shit very much. Yeah, but I can still do it.
You can still
fucking do it.
You're only like what, 2?
That's what I'm saying.
Come on, you got plenty of time.
I got 87 years left in my life, bro. I'm Gucci. I can do anything I want.
Wow, so you're ambitious.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, look.
But look, you know, you got news, right?
I got news. I guess Internet Explorer open. Oh yeah, I guess it does mean something. I wanted to start off with this quick story. I mean, it's a bunch of little quick stories, and I wanted to get one little serious one. But I don't know if you heard about the cop with the acorn. Have you heard about the cop with the acorn?
No, believe it or not.
Yeah, nigga, get the fuck out of here. All right, so this is fucking crazy. Shout out to June for showing me the story. All right, I just sent you the story, and I want you to open up the link, and we'll put it on we'll put the visual on for those watching. What's it called? But if you're just trying to listen, we could put the audio in too. We won't put in the whole thing to take up most of your time, but we're gonna watch it right now.
What? Oh, wait, right there?
All right, so right now we're watching the video.
I don't know. My legs went numb for a second. I heard a pop come from.
Go this way. Can you move?
Yeah.
We hold our officers to a very high standard of service, and this particular time we let the public down.
Okaloosa County Sheriff Eric Aiden in this video posted to social media speaking on the incident of November 12th, 2023, while on a call with a suspect in the back seat. Then Okaloosa County Deputy Jesse Hernandez reportedly claimed it was this noise that he thought was the detained suspect.
So this motherfucker does a John Wick barrel roll, 2 John Wick barrel rolls, and starts unloading into the car after hearing noise. Right.
Hernandez and Okaloosa County Sheriff's Sergeant Beth Roberts, who was on the
And then
scene,
backup was
both
like, pop,
shot
pop,
into
pop.
the patrol car.
Yeah,
The
this is like a
deceased
South
person
Park
in the back
episode.
Almost,
was
right?
reportedly not physically
And then
injured.
when the
Officials say he was fully
look at this guy.
searched
So this guy
before
was
he
searched,
put into the
unarmed,
patrol car
and when the
and
chief is
after the
talking, it's almost like
incident,
the
but
Office
he
skit
was
where
found
he's
to be
like,
unarmed.
"Man,
The
that's just our
noise
bad." Listen to
was
this.
reported to be an acorn. Hernandez resigned just weeks later.
We have an obligation to our staff to try and train them the best we can so that they can go home unharmed to their families. But we have just as equally and just as important of an obligation to our public. Even if they're being investigated for a felony crime, we have that same obligation to protect them.
In a recently released 44-page report of an internal investigation,
He
it
looks
states Hernandez
tight as fuck.
used
He has to go on
excessive
camera and
force.
really be like,
But for Roberts,
"My bad, bro."
God damn it.
And she genuinely
report
was
stated
giving
her
backup,
response
the
was
one that
in an
also
effort
shot,
to save
because she was
Hernandez's
like, "This
life, and
motherfucker
that her response
is dying
was
over there."
reasonable.
Because now I
Sheriff
don't know if you
Aiden
noticed,
offered
but
his
he yelled,
apologies
"I'm
to the
hit,
man
I'm
who was
hit."
in the patrol
Oh,
car.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Are so grateful and prayful and thankful that,
He had to rap.
he was not injured.
In Okaloosa
Bars.
County, Claire Jones, News Channel 7.
So basically, what happened is that this cop.
What happened
What
was-
happened was they arrested a young black man. I think he was hijacking a car or some shit like that.
And they were like,
Why are you running? Why are you running?
I'll be at like 10,000 subs. No, but that's pretty funny. Why are you gay? She's like, what? No, but they arrested him and he's in the back seat of the car and everything. He's like, fuck, man, like I'm about to go to jail or some shit. And then the cop walks past the car and he hears ding and he's like, oh shit. He does 2 barrel rolls. He says, I'm hit, I need an ambulance. He starts shooting into the back window. Mind you, this guy's in the back of the car like, yo, what the fuck's happening right now, bro? I'm just sitting here, his hands behind his back, and then he's getting shot from 2 different directions. And then the fucking chief is like, yo, my bad, guys. Like, I don't know. And the officer who did all that shit, he just resigned. He didn't even try to appeal this. He was just like, yo, I'm quitting. I shouldn't be a cop.
he really took the L on that. He was like, you know what, guys?
I fucked up.
That's my bad.
That's my bad.
He was like Kanye. He's like, you know, the internet's gonna hate me for this, but what's his name? Ye?
Ye? Kanye?
No.
What are you talking about?
Ray.
Ray
has the answers.
No.
Sway. I got it. I got there.
Ray. You ain't got the answers, Sway. I can't do that shit. My throat hurts today. Oh, fucking Jesus. Yeah, but
man, get the fuck away from me.
What in the COVID, the schmovid? No, but yeah, he resigned, and the whole situation is funny. I mean, of course, it's not funny because I mean, it would have been the worst if the guy died. Like, if the guy in the backseat died, then we can't be laughing at this and shit like that.
He was like,
exactly. But he survived. And that shit is actually pretty fucking funny, man. I don't know. I seen that story and I was like, bro. Shout out to June for showing me that shit because that shit was fucking hilarious. Yeah. And our nice editor will cut that shit up so you can see that and hear that correctly. And yeah, bro. So that's my first little story right there.
Nice.
But being a cop must be hard. Yeah, you know. I can't believe he thought he was hit though. But that must really say a lot when you're a cop and you're scared as fuck, or racist and scared of black people. You know,
or both.
I don't understand how this guy believed he got shot by a handcuffed man in the back of a car.
He's like, Jesus Christ, I've been shot by Houdini. Like, what the fuck?
What the magic? But yeah, man. So. All right, so then the second little story I want to hit you with is this.
Don't hit me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna lay it down for you.
Whoa, put it away, Frankie. My God,
I'm sure you. We're gonna hit a record for most fucking songs.
Yo, I'm having so much fun with this.
I'm talking, but really, Javi just looking at the soundboard the whole time, looking at his lips. He's like,
I'm looking at the perfect ones. I'm like, I know exactly which ones to hit you with.
I'm gonna say like, yo, the Holocaust was, you know, it killed millions of people, and Javi's gonna press some shit like. And that's how soundboards work. But I'm sure you heard. I'm sure you've heard of the new sneakers that just dropped.
I don't know, the ones that you sent me this morning, or is that just like
no, those are Shaq's. I sent you a picture of Shaq.
I don't know.
Damn. Okay. So Trump just dropped a sneaker line.
Bruh.
So I'm gonna call this did the Trump sneakers jump over the Yeezys? And that's I don't know if you understand, but Kanye was like, did the Yeezy jump over the Jumpman? All right, cool, because you didn't know Sway.
I knew Sway.
May.
I got really Trump there for a sec. I knew Sway.
I know him. I know it personally. I don't know how to do a Trump impression. Get the fuck out of here. Shout out Shane. Anyway, we can buy sneakers off Trump, like legitimately. But quickly, I would just say, I'm sure you heard about this, that Trump was fined $355 million. Damn, bro, you gotta keep up with the news, keep up with times.
I've been out, dog.
That's good. You gotta stay away from the news. we don't do a show on it, but
listen, at this point, I really only look at the news when I gotta prep.
I respect that. Keep that shit juicy. But he was fined $355 million plus interest for conspiring to manipulate his net worth. Ultimately, he was lying about how much money he had to get other people to like do business with.
I'm so surprised.
So I was like, yo, you want
man.
So if I'm like, yo, you want to do business with me? And you're like, how much money you got? And I'm like, yo, I got a lot of money. And
got a lot of beans.
And you're like, damn, you got that much beans? I'm like, yeah, I got that much beans. And you're like, I'll do business with you. And turns out I got no beans.
No beans?
That's what he did basically.
Well, you see, because listen, I didn't understand what you were telling me before.
Yeah.
I was just kind of throwing the beans joke because I knew you were talking about money. But now that you said it in beans,
that's what I'm saying, bro.
I'm like, what?
You got been there, done that.
Yo, I don't like this Trump guy anymore.
Yo, so
He's
basically,
taking my beans.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I mean, he really is. He's not only is he fined, but he's unable to serve in top roles in New York for 3 years, as well as his two sons, who also got 2-year bans from doing business, like in top roles. That's also including roles in their own business, like Trump Organization or whatever the fuck it's called. So basically, they're wondering like who's gonna lead this business that's in the family if it's not the two sons and Trump. Which I guess they said fuck the daughter.
Right. I was gonna say like, damn, it's a real fucking what is it? Hierarchy over here.
Yeah, man. I don't know, but the judge who did all this, Arthur F. Angaran, there's no jury during this whole case, so this motherfucker just said, "Fuck you, bro." And ultimately, with interest, the sum comes out to $450 million.
Damn.
So it's a lot of money for Trump, right?
It's a lot of beans.
It's a lot of beans, and it doesn't really affect his overall wealth, which I didn't know was really in real estate. But it really affects his cash flow. So I think his net worth in terms of cash is like something around the lines of 650 million.
Okay.
So this really is huge on him in terms of that, but he's still a billionaire, so it doesn't really matter. But he does need to pay this much in 30 days. And that's when we get to the sneakers, bro. That's when we get to that fresh motherfucking
so
shit
is he
right
selling
there.
sneakers to make this money?
No, it just happened to be. So apparently,
He's like, please buy my shoes.
Please buy my shoes, bro.
These are the best shoes you've ever seen.
That's actually what he would say. It's mad funny. They're actually, so the main pair, he presented them in Philly at SneakerCon, Go Birds, which is probably the most political shoes to drop since Kanye West. I wrote that joke.
I'm proud of you, dog.
Thank you, bro. Thank
proud
you.
of you. Hey, you know
what's
what?
up? Thank you. I need that.
I don't got a sound effect for that.
That
one.
would have been a good, like, what's that guy's name? Seth Meyers joke. I'm pretty sure if they wrote that, they were like, "Hey, welcome back, guys. Trump sneakers. Have you heard about this? Have anybody seen this? Yeah, I guess he just drops his sneakers. Probably the most political sneaker to drop since Kanye West's." And then applause break, you know, ha 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 ha. Or Bill Maher. Bill Maher would make that joke. I don't think he's that funny.
You know who I think could make that joke?
Who?
You.
Thanks. Because I wrote it, bro. I wrote that shit.
Yeah. So you got to deliver it yourself, dog.
I know,
You got to
bro.
believe in yourself.
I know, but I didn't think it was that funny when I wrote it too, but I knew it was something. There's something there. It's like, anyway. So the main shoes on the website that you see immediately when you go on are called Never Surrender High Top Gold Colored Sneakers. And they only cost $399. Only cost $399, right?
So we investing in a pair. I get the left one, you get the
That's
right
what
one.
I'm saying, bro, because they're all individually numbered. Ooh, right? And not only can you get these Never Surrendered sneakers that are gold, but on his website, you can also buy his Never Surrender mugs, t-shirts, posters that feature his mugshot on them.
Nice.
You know, because Trump is a fucking goat. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. All right, so I'm going to send you some pictures of sneakers so you can see, and also for no reason. For no reason we put that in. All right. What's it called? So these are some of the items you can get on the website. I don't know if you received the folder yet.
Yeah.
All right. So if you open the first file, you get a bumper sticker that says, Trump was right about everything. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
Yes.
And then you get a shirt with, what's it called? Trump and Melania that says unfinished business.
Yep.
There's like fucking 70 items on the website, by the way. There's another one that says Crooked Joe. And then there's a beer cozy that says the only thing worse is a warm beer. And it's Kamala Harris and Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Which is fucking silly as hell. Then you get the third thing. Oh, no, same shit. Then you get a picture of Trump with the fucking crown.
Yo, he did the Biggie.
He did the Biggie Smalls.
God.
So you get a Biggie Smalls Trump shirt. And then you get Beijing Biden, which is crazy. And then this is TNN. So yeah, you can really buy these things online, which is crazy. Kind of fire, I'm not gonna lie to you. And pretty creative, I'm not gonna lie to you. And,
you know, it's definitely something. It's definitely an achievement for sure.
And then I'll send you to his website where you can find them. I'll send it to you. You don't have to open it right now. But also, if you didn't really want to buy all those things and you really want to get just the shoes, you can also buy his T-Red Wave shoes, which are red, and the white POTUS 45 shoes. Both $200, right?
Okay.
And then lastly, let's say you're just not into shoes. You're not into shoes.
I'm more of a chanclas guy.
I'm more of a chanclas guy, like we saw today, right? You can also get a perfume or cologne.
Nice.
So you can also get a perfume or cologne, and the names of it are Victory 47 Perfume and Victory 47 Cologne. Both $100. And the cologne, since I know you're such a Trump fan, the cologne comes with Trump's face on the top of the bottle.
Let's fucking go. Let's go.
So you could I sent you the pictures. You can look at all them. But as I say them on the visual, you'll be able to see all these things. But yeah, the gold shoes are all sold out already. So we have no chance of getting a pair.
Why am I not surprised?
But the red and white shoes are still available for pre-order.
Wow.
I think I said this earlier, but apparently he's been wanting to do this for 12 years. And coincidentally, as soon as he gets fined, that's when he's been, or in jeopardy of getting fined, that's when he's dropping them.
Man, I'm just going through the website right now and like I'm looking at the not guilty one. Like, yo, this shit wild.
Did you see the shoes?
No, not yet.
Let me send you the shoes thing. Open that so I can continue. But let's just say you want to save some money, right? Let's say you want to save some money on the website, because I know in this economy and Joe Biden's economy, it's pretty expensive out here, right? On the website, if you buy 2 items or more, you get 5% off your entire order. That's savings right there. 5%.
Those shoes are nutty. Wow.
What's it called? The first bonus is that sneakers come with extra laces and an exclusive Trump superhero charm, which is numbered. And the bonus too is that official Trump sneaker launch party, date to be determined. No guarantee that Trump will be there though. So his will be a party, but no guarantee he'll be there. But you know what that means, right? He gonna be there.
He gonna be there.
Yeah.
He's gonna show up fashionably late. You know what I think about? I think about Angel's baby shower. About how he and Vanessa showed up like super fashionably late. Like them motherfuckers were like, "Yo, we got a party, right? Oh shit, that's tonight. Yeah,
Let's
we gotta
be there when
go."
that shit's ending. I don't even remember, bro.
I know.
Fucking baby showers my ass, bro. Fucking alcoholics gathering. But aside from this, Trump also made money off NFTs. I'm sure you remember that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he made.
I mean, who didn't? But
he made $9 million off 2 batches of NFT digital trading cards. He said he sold 92,000 in 2 separate batches, and these cards depict him as a superhero, a rock star, a king of hearts, and a backyard grow master. That's insane, man. So I mean, it's pretty incredible.
I don't know where I heard this before, but I remember hearing someone, a comedian, I'm pretty sure, say something along the lines of like, you know, I that they don't understand Trump supporters, which is a sentiment I share it just in this context, just because the person was just saying like, I don't understand Trump supporters where it's like, you know, they're so ready and willing to like wear his quotes and his pictures on him and like on them, like his clothing and whatever. And it's like, you know, I love Obama, but like I would never fucking wear an Obama shirt. And it's
but I think a lot of people who are very liberal do that. You know, I think.
Well, it's just I think the reason I don't.
I think it makes more sense with Trump to that to be done only because he is a celebrity outside of politics.
Yeah, because I mean that's what I was gonna say. On top of that is just that I think. I can't say for sure, but I would imagine that didn't necessarily happen too much during the Obama presidency, comparatively at least. Whereas just I think Trump sort of opened the door for people to do that. And
I don't think so. I think because Obama was the first black president. Even I think Jeezy dropped the song where he was like, "My president is black. My what is it? Is blue." You remember that song?
I do.
Yeah.
No, but it's just
I do. I love that song. That's pretty funny.
No, I know the song.
No, I know. It's just funny. Like, yeah, I love that song.
No, but what I'm more so getting at is just that I think Trump, like, I'm not saying that politicians never got involved in like entertainment and celebrities and whatever, but I'm saying that because Trump is such a celebrity first, more than anything, at least personally, that he sort of opened the door for other politicians to sort of do the same. Yeah. Where like I think about how you said you saw that kid at the Biden hat.
Yeah, that's the only thing I was thinking about.
So it's just like. I personally can't remember or even think about shit like that happening during like Obama and whatever.
Like so nobody had a Bush sweater.
Yeah. Like, so it's just, I don't know. I
think you're right.
I could be wrong in that, but it's just that's what I sort of see personally. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just so wild.
It's super strange.
It is such a fandom, honestly. I also remember, I think I might have said this on the show before. I fucking once saw like like these Trump supporters during the 2016 election were on the news and stuff. Yeah, that someone one of them threw the OK symbol.
Yeah, the white power.
The white power symbol. Yeah. And I saw that shit and I was like, yo, no way. They just did that shit right fucking there. I saw it. And it's insane. Like,
yeah, because I think Trump is more of what's it called? He blatantly knows what he's doing and who he's like appealing to. Actually, I think there's a news story. I didn't read on this. I didn't want to talk about it either because it seemed kind of just disinteresting. But apparently there's a lot of coverage on he's privately been pushing for an abortion, I think, ban.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think he's like been privately funding it or whatever.
Yeah, and that's basically a big thing, which of course conservatives feed into. And I think also there was an article where Poland had kind of followed that same pathway. And it really led to a lot of big changes, apparently, not in the positive way if you're for abortion. I didn't read into it that much, but I think he knows exactly what he's doing, the way he speaks. I think at one point in his speech, he's like, "Hey, my African American," and this and that. But his like the way he speaks is clearly, directed at a specific audience to enforce this like uprising and rage toward other minority groups and separate class and he's for rich white people and that's why it's confusing when minorities go for him a lot. It's insanely
that is true.
Interesting, like especially Latinos who go for Trump. Like I'm not even like when he was in presidency and I was a little younger, I was kind of scared. Not gonna lie to you, because that should really seem like it was gonna affect my personal life. I mean I got papers, bro. No, but I mean like people that I do know and stuff like that. But it was just scary because it felt like people were really looking at Mexicans like, like they already do in some sense with some prejudice, but it seemed like they were basically like the only types of Hispanics there. You know what I mean? Like you could be Puerto Rican, Dominican, or whatever, but it's just like everybody is just Mexicans they want to send back to their country.
It's like that. Weird, it's like that meme where the caption's like, when you tell them you're Puerto Rican, holy shit, you're Mexican? Yeah. And you tell them you're Dominican, holy shit, you're Mexican?
You should have basically had that as a soundboard. No, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I do think he's fucking entertaining as hell, though. And I think this sneaker thing is fucking hilarious.
Well, I think even to sort of loop it back to the previous story of just kind of, or what we were talking about just before of
the acorn?
Sort of having that. No, but like having like the persona of like being someone out in front while being someone behind closed doors are two different things.
100%.
Whereas just, politicians have always been like that.
Always. Nancy Pelosi.
That's nothing new. It's just Trump is just such an interesting person to look at. Like he knows it.
Yeah, and I think he's having fun too, man. He got to be having fun with all this shit. But he really is getting fucked with all these lawsuits and everything.
He probably lays in bed every day, like on his stomach, kicking his feet up. He's like talking on the phone. He's like, and then today I got sued, but I don't really give a shit.
That's a funny image with the little pointy hat with the little ball leading to one side. But he still can run for president. And I think he's like a major candidate right now. And Biden's a terrible candidate. And I only say that because he's sleepy. He's so sleepy.
He's so eepy.
He's so sleepy, bro.
He's so sleepy, eepy, weepy.
I don't know if you ever seen the South Park when they make fun of the Mexican guy. And like basically it was a stereotypical museum. So they have like a black guy stereotype, an Asian guy stereotype. And they're all on the spotlight. They're like kind of wax figures doing whatever stereotypes apply to those two people. I don't know them. I don't follow stereotypes. And then they approach the Mexican stereotype section. And it's Mexican guy sleeping on the job as a janitor, and then Randy's like, "Oh, look, it's the stereotypical sleepy Mexican." And the statue wakes up. He's like, "Oh man, what time is it? Man, I gotta go back to work. I'm so sleepy though."
Stupid.
It's so dumb.
South Park is some good shit, man.
The best. But yeah, I don't know. But if he runs for president and wins, man, that'd be crazy, bro.
Would be pretty wild.
But you already know who we both support, right? You already know Robert F. Kennedy. Hell yeah, right? Let me get a hell yeah.
I was gonna say Link.
Nah. RFK all day, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. Independent. I'm voting. I don't vote, bro. Anyway, I got this third story for you real quick. This is a quickie. A little it's a dentist visit from hell.
Oh my God.
Well, that's what I called it. Right? Basically, real quick. In July 2020, the very unlucky Kathleen Wilson was in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, right? She went to the dentist, who happened to be called Dr. Kevin Moldrum. And she's been going to him
like
for
a super villain.
Yeah, she's been going to him for like 14 days.
Dr. Moldrum.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Dr. Dentist Moldrum. She's been going to him for like 14 days in 2022, right? Oh no, she's been going for a while. I don't know, whatever. Who cares? So she ended up
she was saying a dentist. He killed her.
She went to go visit him at the office, and now she's suing him for $50,000 in damages. The reason? Well, in one visit, right? In one dentist visit, this dentist ended up giving Kathleen 20 fillings, 8 crowns, and 4 root canals.
Jesus fucking Christ. How did he do all of that? What the fuck?
Can you imagine? You go to the dentist, like, oh, what they're going to do? I'll just check for you up. All you hear in the room is...
They're like, oh, what are you getting done today at the dentist? Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. Yo, what the
Jesus
fuck?
Christ. Yeah, so after all that happened, she was like, the fuck? So she hired a Floridian dentist, Dr. Abram Goldstein. Bad time to be a Goldstein, to be fair. I guess back then, no. Now, yeah, you know.
Yeah,
you know,
it's all contextual.
It's all contextual. It's all supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
It's all hearsay.
So he was hired to give he was hired to give expert feedback on all the dental work he saw, and basically he said, look, man, it's impossible for this guy to have done all this work in one day correctly, which means he did all that shit and fucked it all up. And ultimately, the American Dental Association refused to comment on the situation.
Oh, wow.
They were like, yo, we're staying out of this one,
they were
bro.
like, hey, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah, we don't, what's
like,
it called?
that guy? Oh, man, they were like...
We don't claim him,
Oh,
bro.
brother, this guy stinks!
Basically, bro, yeah. So that's pretty much I got for that little story. Poor Kathleen. Okay. I feel bad for her bitch ass, but yeah, man, that sucks ass, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty trash.
Can you imagine, bro? You go to the doctor, they give you like 18 surgeries, 2 implants.
Yeah, man. One time
a lobotomy.
One time I was at the hospital and they were trying to get blood from me and they were trying to get my vein.
They missed it like 5 times?
They missed it like 5
Me
times.
too, bro.
Almost like exactly like 5 times. Because they tried to get like some new person to do it. And it's just like, this motherfucker was just like, just missing my veins. And my vein is like right there. Like, bleeding out. Like, my vein is like,
and ready. Then they heard an acorn and they were like, poop, poop, poop.
Yeah, and I was like, I just got my arms tied behind my back. I'm not Houdini.
Poop, poop, poop. I need backup. He's Dominican.
Oh, dear God. And Colombian.
Oh, no.
He's resisting.
Yeah, no, that happened to me too.
FBI, open up!
what's it called? I went to the hospital, did the same thing, bro. They took out blood like 17 times, and I'm like, yo, bro, can you just I don't care. I don't care about my
just
work.
Kill me.
I mean, I can have AIDS. I just give a shit less to stop poking me with this needle. It hurts. But yeah, fucking shout out Woodhull Hospital. Hell yeah, the best hospital in Brooklyn. Oh shit.
Yo, what the fuck is your deal, man? Yo, back the fuck up away from Link.
What's it called?
Oh, poor Linky.
Facts, man. All right, but now I got a main news story. I know we got a little more time left. This is my main news story. And I wanted to cover this because I'll say it early. Next week, we're covering on the AMC section, as we always do. You know, bi-weekly, we do the AMC section. And next week, we're doing a very good comic book that I found, right? Mm-hmm. And you knew about it already. I found about this comic book very randomly. We won't be talking about the comic book at all on this episode. But what is it?
We are going to be looking at The Good Asian next episode.
The Good Asian. And it was Lunar New Year not too long ago. Not that it really matters and stuff like that. Coincidentally enough, though. Not that it doesn't.
Not that like we give a shit or anything. It's just like whatever.
Not that it doesn't matter, but
basically what Frankie's trying to say is that we don't see color.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see color at all, bro. Fuck it. I'm basically a dog.
All I saw a meme where there's a bunch of dogs in a car and like they look like they were driving and one of them goes, "Yo, go, the light's gray."
And all those are like, nah. What's it called? So we're covering that comic, and I think if we read it, obviously, to cover it. But there's one story in the back that was pretty interesting to me. So I'm sure you know most of the story already if you read it. But I'm going to cover the Massie trial in Hawaii. Do you remember reading about that in there? Yeah. So the reason I wanted to cover it is because maybe you don't listen to the next episode, or maybe this is your first time listening. But reading that story in the back of that book, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is fucking crazy. I didn't know majority of those things that the author wrote in that. What's the author is like Porn Swag something?
Yeah, it's a difficult name.
It's pretty difficult. Oh, Pornsak Pichitchot. He's a Thai author who wrote The Good Asian. But I'm gonna cover it briefly because it's pretty long. But I'm gonna do my best to keep it very brief.
I'll just say before you go into it, but it's just and I'll say this even next episode too, but it's just some of the history stuff I actually did have like prior knowledge to. Yeah. Because I forget why, but I just was able to go on like school trips and stuff where we went Asia. Yeah, we went to fucking Asia. But we went to what's the island? The Statue of Liberty Island.
Ellis Island.
Mm-hmm. We went to Ellis Island and we learned a lot about like the immigrants that came to California and stuff. I also took a class in college at some point where I learned more about that as well. Nice. So I was like, I had some prior knowledge to the whole like background of it. I
went to Ellis Island. I don't remember anything. I just remember seeing the names on the embedded in the book or whatever, some shit like that. I was like, nice. No, but I didn't know most of it. To be honest with you, nothing. And when I picked up the book, I was like, oh shit, this is crazy because it starts off pretty powerfully. Yeah. But to move on for that, you don't have to have any prior knowledge to hear what I'm about to tell you guys. I hope you find it interesting. It is history. And yeah, so I'm going to tell you real quick that this happened in the 1930s. It's the Massie trial in Hawaii, right? Hawaii. And in 1848, this is some brief history. There's a Mahela, right? Oral division that occurred after the King Kamehameha III, that's his real name, agreed to, which opened up Hawaii's government land to be bought by foreigners. By 1890, foreigners held 90% of Hawaiian land. Because of disease, famine, and war, it only left about 20% of the pre-1778 Hawaiian population. So motherfuckers were dying and foreigners were coming in. And then Haole, or what Hawaiians called white people in Hawaii. Haole spelled Haole. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, sorry, Hawaiians. But I looked it up. And they, the white people basically pressured the king to grant a constitution where foreigners could vote in Hawaii. This happened in 1887. But the constitution excluded Asians who were brought in to work in the sugar industry and took away power from the king. Okay. So basically they told the king, let us vote, but we won't let anybody else vote, even though people who are also foreigners, right? White people were just doing white people shit. Then 1893, the queen of the time, she surrendered her throne only because the U.S. government came at her at gunpoint. And they were like, yo, get the fuck out of here. And she was like,
they're like, off the throne, bitch.
Boom, boom, boom. And she was like, all right, chill.
Drop the acorn.
Yeah. And then President Grover Cleveland at the time, He was like, oh hell no, and he sent investigations to occur, whatever, right? Occur, right? He basically was like, you guys are fucked up. What are you doing? All right, and he ends up asking Hawaii's now provisional government to give the power back to the queen, since they obtained it illegally. The provisional government said, nah. And yeah, so later on, August 12th.
Nice delivery. Nah.
August 12th, 1898, the American flag replaces the flag of Hawaii. And now we get to the trial. First of all, that's kind of crazy. That's already like, mind you, there's so much in between all that stuff that's more specific. Just because I want you to, if you're listening to
specific by the Pacific,
I want you to grasp it just real quick, because what I've noticed is that whenever I find myself listening to podcasts that are just funny, I think I showed you the Matt and Shane Sugar podcast, where there's just dummies, just fucking chatting in the best way. But Shane Gillis often finds himself talking about history because he loves that topic. And that really I got a bug that bit me when it came to that, because there's a lot of cool shit about history that really, when it's told in a way you can enjoy it, it's just fucking awesome to hear about. And this sucks, but in the way that it's awesome to hear about, because it's interesting, interesting. So
it's all right. No, I think we've said it before, but the best, I feel like, or at least I've told people, is just that I like to think that we kind of trick people on this show and then listen to it, where it's like, oh, they're just a bunch of assholes. They don't talk about anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we actually do have like some pretty like big things to talk about.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think what I do like that we do on the show is at times we take it very serious what we talk about. Of course, there's different things we're passionate about when we talk about them and stuff like that. But I don't know. There's a lot of topics that we talked about in the past where I was like, holy shit. I remember one of them being the child labor one you brought up on one of the episodes, on episode
45.
Like, that shit was crazy. For those that don't know, you referred to it. It's an insane story about how child labor is being used. What was it, in the U.S. or all over?
In the U.S. primarily.
Linked to brands that are just so common to you. What, you remember some of them or now?
Like Ben and Jerry's is like a big one. Fucking that's like the one I remember the most, because that really hurt.
Yeah, man. And it led to like there's specific stories about kids' deaths who like one of them was like roofing, one of them got ran over by like a steamroller or some shit like that. I forget the specific.
One of them fell off like a roof from construction. Another one got hit by a car here in Brooklyn and doing deliveries.
Yeah. And they're all like, what, 13, 15 years old or some shit
as young as 13, like as old as like 16 or 17.
Yeah. And of course, we like to joke a lot. I know way before we joke way more because we had that drink in us. Now we got some coffee, some selfie, some bacon, egg, and cheese. Right, a little more tame.
You know, we grew up.
we did a lot growing up this past season. We righted our wrongs, bro. No, but even in the midst of that's how serious that shit was. Where I remember leaving that episode, going home and talking to Beatrice. I was like, that shit was fucked up, man. It was hard. And yeah, man. So I think when it came to this story in particular, it's pretty saddening. But I do remember when I read The Good Asian at the end of it, and I read the historical notes, which I'm very grateful he put in there. I was actually like, damn, man, like this is disgusting, you know. And it's just back to back to back to back, and yeah. So getting back to the trial. It all started on September 12th, 1931, when a lady called Talia Massie, wife of a Navy man, claimed she was assaulted by some Hawaiians at night. She claimed she couldn't identify the assailants or their car, and 5 suspects were arrested the next day. Horace Ida, Benny Ahaquelo, Joseph Kahahawai, Henry Chong, and David Takei. Sorry if I pronounced names wrong. So, Horace Ida had 4 people in his car. One of them fought with a woman, and Ida's car was described to the police, leading to all of them being arrested and suspected of assaulting Talia Massie. And the 4 people I just mentioned, 5 people. Basically, it made headlines. The trial began, and Talia, what she initially said to the police was like very minimal.
Okay.
But when the trial began, suddenly she remembered everything.
Right.
You know, basically lying, you know.
Oh wait, now that I think
about it, these old motherfuckers all did, you know. And after her testimony, deliberation lasted 97 hours, and there was a mistrial because of the lack of evidence, right? But again, this case was making headlines before and after the trial. But now, because of this incident and what happened to the American woman, allegedly, Hawaii is now seen to be a savage land for what they did to her. And what's it called? Navy men then proceeded to hunt down Horace Ida in his neighborhood, forced him in a car, and drive him somewhere to be beaten with belt buckles. He pretended to be passed out, but the police heard about this and they protected the 4 other people that were awaiting trial. Then on January 8th, 1932, Talia Massie's mom, Grace Fortescue, and her husband, Tommy Massie, plus 2 other Navy men, Albert Jones and Edward Long, kidnapped Joseph Kahahaway while he was with his cousin. As he's being kidnapped, the cousin runs to the police to inform the cops, like, yo, my cousin just got kidnapped. The reason they kidnapped Joseph was to force a confession out of him that he beat Talia Massie. And I don't know why, but the way they try to convince him is by shooting him. Yeah. They were like, yo.
I thought that shit, like, there's a scene like that in this movie that we will definitely watch on this show called City of God.
Okay.
I think I've mentioned it to you before. But there's a certain scene like that where someone gets shot in the foot, and it's like, it's so gruesome where it's just like, it's so dumb.
Yeah. Tell me the truth.
Yeah, it's like, and that's a joke in comedies and stuff where it's like, like, I'm gonna have to beat it out of you, and then they end up killing them. Like, oh man, well, shit,
my bad. But yeah, they shot Joseph and he dies, and then they're like, fuck, we gotta dump the body. So they drive to some nearby water to hide the body. But the cats said, yeah. No, the cops caught them and they arrest them for kidnapping and murdering. Instead of going to a prison cell, the 4 murderers and kidnappers are placed in a Navy ship, which is like a hotel. They had access to TV, rooms, and other like luxuries in comparison to what normal prison would be like. And not only
this
that,
isn't your normal prison.
this is white people
advanced prison.
Not only are they not in a prison, mind you, they just kidnap and murder a guy for a crime he didn't commit. Not only are they in a boat awaiting trial, they receive flowers and notes of sympathy due to the newspapers deeming their act as an honor slaying. So that's what they called it. The newspaper is calling the murder of Joseph an, quote, honor slaying. So they go to court and the jury doesn't want to indict the 4 who killed Joseph, but the judge said, bro, like, you have to at least bring these guys to trial. Like, it's your duty. It's not like an opinion thing. Like, the evidence is so overwhelming against these 4 people. Like, you have to bring them to trial. So they're like, okay.
He's like, what are you doing? Like, look, he's literally saying, I did it.
Yeah. And you're like, nah, I don't feel like.
That's a really good point, but I don't know. I just don't know.
And then eventually the jury is like, all right, chill. So they charge the 4 with 2nd-degree murder. And on April 4th, the Territory versus Grace Fortescue, the mom of Massie, begins. The jury, 7 Caucasians, 2 Chinese, 1 Portuguese, and 3 Hawaiians. On 420, Talia Massie says that Joseph beat her that night more than any other of the men. So now her story is that Joseph, the people they murdered, was the main assailant of the whole the group of 5, right? And after,
it was 5, right?
Yeah. After 48 hours of deliberation, the jury found the defendants guilty of manslaughter. And then they got sentenced because of manslaughter for 10 years of hard labor. But Governor Lawrence Judd was pressured by the U.S. government and Navy to change the 10 years sentence to 1 hour.
Let's go.
And the 1 hour was to be served in his office. So
let's go.
So after these 4 murderers and kidnappers were found guilty of murdering somebody, they went to go serve their time, what was 10 years, now to be 1 hour, across the street in his office. So they walked there, right? They walked to go serve their time. And yeah, so they ended up not serving the 10 years. But because of the 4 other guys, there was to be another trial, because she was fucking with them. Instead of that, though, Talia Massie and her mom, they left to San Francisco. And because they left, they avoided being served a summons. So if she had received that, she would have had to face trial. But because she never received it, the trial never took place. And that's basically the story of the Massie trial.
Yeah.
And that's fucking insane, bro. It's insane how all that happened. And it's basically, I don't hate saying this phrase, but it's giving Emmett Till.
Oh my God. Gen Z over here. Oh, it's giving.
And everybody who's listening to this, like, they were like, man, this podcast sucks. And they heard It's Given. They were like,
and they're like, oh my God, these guys are so hip and young. And we're like,
Mr. Beast?
And we're like, facts, no printer.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Facts No Printer is my favorite, though. I won't lie to you. That shit's fire.
Not cap.
Oh, shit, bro. But yeah, it's a very insane story. I hope it was very clear what the story was, because, again, there was a lot more to it.
I mean, I think you did a pretty good job of breaking it down.
Just as a simple story that I hope you look into, because from then on out, it just gets crazier. I mean, afterwards, Hawaii didn't want to become part of the States, but eventually it did. And there's just a lot of history toward it, but it's crazy, man. It's fucking insane how these things...
in the membrane.
It's insane in the membrane. Shout out Cypress. What's it called? But there's so many stories like that. That was just one... They're literally just one page of the many little facts that, Pornzak wrote for everybody to read. And he was very honest in his way of mentioning it, which I respect very much, because it's hard to write that stuff without being a little more angry writing it, especially being someone who is Asian or comes from immigrants. I'm not sure if he did, but it's incredible. So I don't know. I thought it's insane, bro.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even when I first read it, I was just it was very reminiscent of the things that I had read about at Ellis Island and when I was in school and stuff, where it's just I've read similar stories already now, where it's just and I don't think a lot of people really recognize that happened in history. Yeah. Where it's
not a major trial you look at, like if you were, again, like Emmett Till. Like Emmett Till is it's very similar, but there are also huge cases where, I don't know, you mostly think of the more popular ones, which I can only think of that right now. But this would have never came across my radar if I never read this book, which is crazy given that it's a comic book, which a lot of people look at as just like silly, fictional, like, characters running around and superheroes. But nah, man, that shit was incredible. And it fucking opened my eyes. And I'm more interested now more than ever to really like seek out more information on that.
Yeah, because what I was going to say too is just like, I find it interesting because from what I already know of what's happened in history, I think, just as a Hispanic person, I think Asian people have been ignored slightly more throughout history, even more comparatively to like Hispanics or Black people. Yeah, I think we all love to talk about being racist towards Black and Hispanics and stuff. Love to talk about it, but and that's not even to say that everyone ignores that people are racist towards Asian people, but I think there's just that period in time, like during the 30s, where it's just everyone is super racist towards Asian people here.
Bro, I think everybody was just super racist.
I mean, from what we learned in the comic and like from what I've learned on my own as well, it's like, you're not wrong. Everyone is just racist. Yeah, it's mad but racist, it was like that decade or so where it's just all the hate was towards like the Asian community.
But I think the difference, I would say mostly, because I don't know about the Hispanics, I would leave out only in the sense of I think the difference in between the Asians and like Black people, like especially people, is that like the Chinese were basically the first mass immigrating people to come here, and Africans were brought over here forcefully. So I think that's where the difference was, where I think this is going to sound kind of ridiculous, but hear me out. It was a little more humanizing to be racist towards a Chinese person, right? Because you looked at African people as property. You weren't treating them as a race of their own. You were just treating them as an other being. Whereas Chinese people were like, well, they're otherworldly, but they're also human, but we just don't like this type of person. Right. That's the only difference, I think, in terms of the targeted like hate that was occurring and super normalized in that time period. Yeah. I think Hispanics were just chilling like, damn, we suck too, apparently.
Because, I think like and as we mentioned, Mexicans definitely get the worst rep out of like the Hispanic community. I feel like that's kind of changing, where it's just like now.
We all hate Dominicans, honestly speaking.
I can't stand myself. But I mean, like we've known people to talk about like the Venezuelans that are all coming here now.
Oh yeah.
So it's just,
even recently with the whole because there's like a bunch of gang members coming from there and everything. The one that like assaulted the cop the other day. And then there was a lot of shootings and stuff like that.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of conversation about that recently surrounding like the Hispanic community in terms of being immigrants and coming here to the country. Yeah. But it's just,
But still, people still think Mexicans. That's the it's obviously sound like a broken record, but it could be Venezuelans, and people are gonna look at that and they're like, "That's why we need to build that wall." And it's like, I mean, they could be Venezuelans coming in from Mexico, but like this is a different topic.
I mean, Frankie, you have to get through Mexico to get up here, so
duh. No,
God damn it.
But it's super interesting how that all plays out. But yeah, this is mostly to cover this story and all that stuff. But Jeff, definitely, if this interests you, please tune in to the next episode, which is the AMC section, where we'll be covering the Good Asian. It's a crazy story, very, very interesting, and yeah.
I'll just sort of reel it back with just kind of saying that this is a great
segue.
It's also great a prelude to the next episode.
Hell yeah.
I think what we're going to talk about in the next episode is going to be pretty juicy.
Yeah, intense as well.
So I'm very excited to talk about the Good Asian. Yeah. But in terms of what we talked about today, I had a good time.
And I'm trying to get those sneakers, dog.
Hey, yo, man. I'm saying, all I'm saying is we split a pair. I get the left one, you get the right one.
I made some money yesterday on DraftKings. Shout out fucking UFC, man.
You don't want to buy that adapter so we can say, so we got $100.
We just buy some shoes.
Just saying.
I don't know. That's so funny he dropped all that stuff, man. That was actually very fun to look up. Shout out to Forbes. Shout out to all the writers and stuff like that who wrote all those stories.
Did Anthony write it?
Hell no, bro. Motherfuckers drinking a Coors Banquet. Hell no, bro. Hell no. Nah, shout out Anthony. Shout out to Les.
Yeah, I'm going to hit you with the...
But yeah, that was our episode. Tune in the next one. Before we leave, check out the Instagram, Earth Mind Matter Pod. Right? YouTube, Earth Mind Matter, one word. TikTok, Earth Mind Matter Pod.
Yep.
And please interact with the show, like the show.
Q&As,
polls. Download our episode.
Follow us on Spotify too.
Send us money.
Give us high fives whenever you see us going down the street
with money in your hand.
Hey, you're the asshole on that show. And I'm like, yeah,
hell yeah. And we jump in the air, clap, and freeze frame.
Hell
and
yeah,
just fade out.
And then we just fade out too.
And wrap it up.